Robyn Hood episode 5, the one where I think I've got a solution.
Disparu. They laugh at every line. They laugh at everything. They laugh, and you look goofy because you know it's fake. It looks fake. You're being fake.
Yeah, who's the goofy one now? I'm basically part of the Hood. Got a rap album coming out by the end of the week. The entire works of Shakespeare just said in rhythm to terrible music. While I pretend I've got Tourette's. I just went to drink through the mask. That would have ended badly. Almost died making the video electrocute myself. Almost a one-to-one comparison. I actually think my mask is better than theirs. Although admittedly, it's clearly not made for me, as my eyes are like up here somewhere. Just like this show, this mask wasn't made for me.
It's just sexy.
You just can't look goofy with a mask over your face. It's impossible.
You look goofy. You look stupid. Every line.
Are you out of your mind?
Alright, calm down, love. It was only a mask. But we're in Prince's Tower with his son getting ready for a party. Don't know why. He was told, if you bring any more peasants into this room, I will throw them out of a window.
You bring one more peasant into my penthouse, Chet, I will throw her off the balcony myself.
So, you know, looking forward to that later on.
This is the most important day of my life.
I would have thought that was when you found out MILF Manor was getting a season 2. You're talking down to the staff, no eye contact, you're invisible. That's not how it works. We already have rules for this. Also, by the way, all those staff will agree with him that they shouldn't be seen. Part of professionalism.
Good morning, Chet.
Hey, babe.
Not my name.
I don't care.
But he finds out that his dad needs to reschedule and he's missing his birthday meal. Honestly, with a son like that, who wouldn't? I mean, he's surprised his dad doesn't care about him. I'm just surprised he hasn't squirted himself inside out.
Reschedule my birthday.
You probably don't even know when you were born anyway. I'm still not quite convinced you're self-aware.
Hey! The sign is still uneven!
And to be fair, it is. Why'd you make someone like him look bad and then make me go, yeah, but he is right though? I don't like that. Maybe he got a couple of blokes to do it who didn't need to do it on a step ladder. Maybe they could have done the job properly.
Are you cross-eyed or something? Huh? Oh my god, these people can't get it right.
I mean, it is uneven. That's all I'm saying. It's made so unreasonable. Make it straight. It's a challenge in Hollywood, but this is Canada.
It's my birthday! Some goddamn joke!
Hey, if he keeps on like this, maybe we'll see a peasant defenestrated faster than I thought. His dad won't even need to come home. And she's looking at him like, oh my god, he's acting like another peasant. At this point, he might as well be in Sherwood Tower. The uncouth lout has none of the decorum befitting his station.
What?
I'd like to take the piss out of it, but this is how I act on a combination of whiskey, caffeine, and gaming. We're like, oh, I resemble that remark. But he phoned someone, I've got an idea. The strange thing is, we go from, I've got an idea with that face, to this. By the way, I'm evil. Hey mate, do you want to have a party? Because I'm gonna slaughter all of you. That's the kind of change we want. We got a couple of people annoying everyone on the street. Maybe if you develop some useful talents, you wouldn't need to do this on a bench. Now, rather than going out and doing a job, he's decided to sit on a bench and play music for morons. And whenever that is your career strategy, obviously you get other morons giving you advice.
Gotta let me record your music. Put it online.
Yeah, put it online. Get like 500 views. I could give you 20p. I don't think your marketing skills are going to help him.
Hey, you're gonna make me famous as the Hood? That's all anyone ever talks about these days.
Yeah, except the Hood are famous for committing crime, not for their music. Without the crime, the Hood is just renowned for filling up the coma ward as people desperately try and get away from them.
What do you think about them?
They got potential, just hope they stay out of jail.
Well, that makes one of us.
Yo, I got the necks, not the fingers, okay?
Yeah, that's what the girls tell me.
If only you said that was what your mum tells me.
Oh, this guy's hilarious.
Definitely gonna get a lot of use out of that clip, I can tell.
See you later.
I'll be here.
Because I'm not gonna get a job. Got nothing else to do with my life except sit on a bench. But the car drives up to Sherwood Tower, and the only thing I think seeing that is that I get nicked. I mean, they get nicked anyway without sticking diamonds on them. But it makes sense it's the son, because he doesn't have any taste. Which means he's in the right place. He's with his mates, and they're all disgusted. There's only one saving grace.
I want to get to know these peasants a little more.
If he knew what they were really like, he'd despise them even more. He says, I just want to discover that Sherwood pride they keep rapping about in the music.
There's pride in this place?
I like him. It's like putting the audience in the show to humiliate them live. Why don't you stop committing crime and improve the area, you degenerates?
So, it's not acceptable behavior. It is embarrassing.
But they start recording the busker on the bench. They said, hey, you want to earn some real money? Hop in the car. Are you going to kill him? I mean, seriously. Who would take that deal? Some random guy stood up saying, get in the car, I'll give you money. It's like offering him sweets from the back of a van. He's going to wake up tomorrow missing a kidney.
No, thank you.
At least he's got some brains. It's a shame he doesn't put them to use for an employer, really, isn't it? But they offer him a wad of cash.
$300. How about now?
Well, now I'd walk up, take it from you, and then run away. That'd be my plan. It's like, I'm not getting in that car. You're clearly lunatics. They lure him in, though, saying we got a private gig for you because, you know, the rich and famous always want to find musicians off the street. Although I'm pretty sure that's Ed Sheeran's actual story and he was discovered when he was homeless. And to be fair to him, he's kind of kept the look, so, you know, at least he's stayed true to his roots. You can't comment about that. Look at the state of you. I'm like, yeah, that's what makes it funny. He eventually gives in, and if only he'd listened to the show. They just be Robyn, and now we've moved into human trafficking. What are we going to be doing by the end of the series? Stealing nuclear weapons? At the community centre now. And I want to give you a taste of the atmosphere. At least some of that is out of rhythm.
My bad, yo. I was working on this fire beat last night.
Oh, he made it. That explains it. How did you design it? Start hitting saucepans with a spoon. I also love how it takes him an entire night to work on the beat. The most basic part of music.
You gotta check it out.
That's been inside your ear.
Thank you. I find that repulsive as well. I'm just surprised that Robyn has standards. She doesn't like anything being inside your ear, although she's far more open to things being inside her. But then Marion turns up, presumably to ruin Little John's day. She's looking for a mum so she can tell her about a case, and for some reason, didn't go to her house. She's been in bed the entire series. You'd think it'd be a bit predictable.
A lot to catch her up on. She never seems to slow down.
Yeah, especially if you push her downhill, it's just constant acceleration.
They said this was the best chair they had.
Those NHS wheelchairs don't have the brakes that they should. Put a ramp at the bottom. I think we can make her jump to America. She asks Robyn how she's getting on. Oh, I'm finding ways to stay busy, like this clothing drive. It's a shame it didn't cross your mind to work. Then wouldn't need to do a clothing drive. You could just pay for things.
I have aced every job interview I've ever worn this in.
Your top is probably worth more than all the rest of the clothes in that entire place.
Mom should be around tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Wait, what? Look at the phone in her pocket. Anything that sticks out your pocket that much is getting nicked in this place. You can't trust them. You really need deeper pockets if you're going to put that phone in it. But at that moment, the busker comes back into the room. It looks like someone broke his guitar. I can't believe getting into a random car after they wave a wad of cash in your face had negative consequences. And it turns out, like the Hood, he was stupid enough to film his crime.
Let's go, show him. Can you even play?
Okay, after that chord, I can understand why they broke the guitar. You've got 1,049 dislikes just for the chord.
I played everything you've asked me to. Just give me the cash.
That was your mistake, mate. You should have got the cash up front. So they start offering money for the guitar. 200, I can't, I need it. Okay, what about 1,000? 1,000? You get an entirely new guitar. Then they just take it from him, film themselves destroying his property, and then throw the money in the air? That's not how that works, mate. On the plus side, I mean, if he can catch it before the wind blows away, he will actually have made a profit, I suppose.
Oh my God! You're gonna cry, little man?
I'm just gonna collapse on the floor and do nothing, because I'm going to apply the same amount of work ethic to this to recover from my situation as I did getting a job in the first place.
Yo, I saw Elmore this morning.
Yeah, but to be fair, the severity of a crime isn't affected by the last time that you talk to them. But he does show the Hood for the moral, upstanding gangsters that they really want to be.
This isn't your fault, it's Chet's.
We need to hurt him.
I mean, it was a bit quick, wasn't it? I'm like, maybe call the police, get him arrested, thrown in prison. You can join him. It's like, no, we need to break his legs. Escalated quickly, is all I'm saying.
They can pay.
Yo, that's not what we do.
What is it we do then?
Make bad music and commit crime. Drag down your entire area. Make everyone regret living near you. I mean, there's loads of things, actually.
Because last I checked, I will cool to forget about the music. Just be outlaws, stealing cars, smashing drones.
That's true, you're a bunch of useless degenerates.
Robbing a pharma company?
That was different. Our people needed medicine.
Have you considered buying it? There's a thing called money that was invented that you could work for if you got off your ass for once.
Chet needs a box, but...
He needs a box? I don't even know what that's supposed to... Do you mean coffin? It's a bit harsh.
If they hurt one of us, they hurt all of us.
I wish it was that simple, but all of you need to be in prison, not just one of you. But Robyn gives what I think is meant to be an inspirational speech. She's right. Everyone believes in us. We need to show them Sherwood is protected. I'm like, hang on, wasn't that the plot of Lionheart's episode? He's like, okay, now I'm here. You've got protection. And then you scared him off. You're the one that left Sherwood unprotected. So they decide he's throwing a party. She was invited in the first episode. And now maybe they make an appearance there.
Rich kid like him must be getting some dope stuff, right?
How is that going to teach him a lesson? We need to show them Sherwood is protected by stealing his birthday presents. What are you going to do next, Trick? Custard pie him?
Y'all want to rob Prince's penthouse again? That's literally returning to the scene of the crime.
I mean, to be fair, That's not even the most stupid thing you've done. I'm actually surprised it's not happened earlier. In Gotham Knights, they were revisiting the scene of the crime every week.
He took everything Elmore had. The least we can do is spoil his party.
He makes a good point. That is literally the least you can do. Maybe making plans around the least you can help people, it's not the best way to do it, is it? This is just, how can we make ourselves rich while pretending that we're helping somebody? Just stealing money for yourselves doesn't do anything for anybody. Maybe if you stopped pissing them off, they'd stop getting revenge. Over now to typical Robyn.
You decent?
Never, but come in.
Yeah, that's the classy lady I've come to expect. Okay, spoke too soon. Actually classier than she's been the entire series. It's amazing the changes you can make when you decide to go to a civilized place. It's almost like if a place has standards, then it makes everyone rise to meet those standards. And he likes it, so you get to the point where you're like, okay, if everyone thinks that this style is better, why don't you just do that then? Oh, I look nice today, but then I'm going back to degeneracy. So they start getting together, which is a shame because, you know, you're gonna ruin her hair. And it turns out that she knew what she was doing during the whole, you know, cigarette patch incident. Oh, I remembered it all. I mean, he's used to waking up next to her and not being able to remember what they did before, so I can understand why he needed to ask. So they leave with the promise that if we survive this, we'll bang.
Are you sure he's gonna let you in?
That's the most sensible thing he said all series. This is a rich guy with an incredibly successful father who doesn't like peasantry. You sure he's gonna let you in?
Dude took one look at me in my bike clothes. He was all over me.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? It was almost like that was just written into the script specifically for this episode. It didn't make any sense. Also came out of nowhere. He'd already met her once, didn't care at all. Second time, it was like a dog on heat. At least if he'd seen you wearing a dress, it would have actually made sense.
Thirsty. You gonna defend my honor?
No, that only works when you've got honor to protect. The entire point was to preserve your virtue and innocence. In this case, that went a long time ago. You shouldn't be wearing white on a wedding day either.
You gonna defend my honor?
And mess up my fit?
I've never liked that guy more than I have at this very moment.
Hey, much. Last chance to go as a couple.
I'ma hit you.
I believe her. I mean, at this point, he'd probably scrub up better in a dress than she would, but somehow he's managed to con their way onto the serving staff. You do realize the serving staff at these events are also meant to be classy. Part of the gig.
So what, y'all get to go in style while the rest of us get to be the help?
Well, he literally offered you to go, and you'd said you'd rather hit him in the face? I mean, make your mind up, love. I've been repeatedly informed it's okay when they do it.
Do you want to swap?
Yeah, nah.
Why'd you ask?
They come up with a complex plan that all the presents are going to be in the smoking room, which is handy, considering they only know 2 rooms physically exist. So for it to be in one of them is very lucky. I also love the fact that in a very simple room, she had to put 2 arrows in to let people know the directions that they could move in it.
When did they get all up on each other?
What do you mean when? You were literally in the same flat when they spent the first night together episodes ago. You were the one that realized.
I'm gonna text Robyn, y'all.
Your memory is shocking, love.
Guess it was bound to happen.
You were also in that room.
I'm gonna text Robyn, y'all.
How have you both forgotten? So we enter the party. For the first time in the entire series, they look respectable. Just goes to show looks can be deceiving. But they enter the party, and I've got to say,
This is a nice room where we're not fighting.
it's hardly Prince's taste in music, is it? That really doesn't fit with chandeliers. The dad would definitely be defenestrating people who attended this party if he didn't like peasantry. But he's being very subtle. Oh, it's a great first date. She says, well, if you play your cards right, it might not be your last.
These people eat more money than we could steal.
And that's saying something because thieves may have sticky fingers, but these people stand up and take the chair with them. Yes, has anyone seen The Birthday Boy? No, I don't know why that matters. You're after his presents, not him, unless you're planning to get with him instead of Robyn. By the way, he did invite Robyn to this party so he could get with her, so it's a bit weird that she turned up with a bloke. You'd probably just kick her out again.
Well, we can't just stand around being conspicuous.
What do you mean? Look at everybody else around you. You're all just standing around. It's not a very big room. It's not conspicuous to stand at a party.
We should split up.
Yeah, because if you stand around on your own, that's far less conspicuous than being in a group at a party. But so much for that second date when she meets Marion.
What are you doing here?
Oh no, you've caught me. I shouldn't be here. Yes, and what were you doing here to catch me? I'm not guilty. I'm just panicking. But she says, no, I went to the same prep school with him. I'm like, what? That guy went to prep school? I'm too common for that, but presumably it's to
prepare you for stuff. Is it like finishing school where they just teach you how to be posh? Because that guy's an uncouth lout. It definitely failed there. Because normally I don't accept the invitation, but I'm here for your mother's case looking for evidence. Because all evidence obtained illegally is obviously admissible in a court of law. And she knows that. She's a lawyer.
No one can know, okay?
Yeah, no one can know because you can't use it in court anyway. And if you show the evidence, they'll be like, hang on, how did you get that?
So why are you here? I was invited.
Yeah, but why did you accept? Hey, look, this slob invited me to his penthouse. So I got dolled up to the nines and brought my boyfriend.
Us being here is a legal nightmare. One of us needs to leave.
Wait, why does one of you need to leave? But any of you being there is a legal nightmare. You're a lawyer in a case against the family. You being there isn't any better. And if one of you's like, well, it's okay, I was invited, you're both invited. So they do this whole, I agree, one should leave. It's gotta be you, it's gotta be you, it's gotta be you kind of thing. Before they decide none of them's gonna leave. Also, why do you want to work with Robyn? You're a lawyer, she's a criminal.
2 pairs of hands will finish in no time.
I can't really argue with her logic. Prince's son's about to be a lucky boy. You don't need a jar, you need a cold shower, love. So this guy was meant to be dressed as the help, but then changed when he was in there, apparently.
Thought we were supposed to be dressed as the help.
Just to get in?
No. Actually, you were the help so you could move around the party unnoticed and go into places where other people couldn't. You're actually harming the mission because you're so obsessed with your own vanity. So they discuss how to get rid of Marion because they can't have her looking over their shoulder when they commit all the crime. And because this is a high IQ group of the impossible mission force, they come up with a complex plan.
You could use your feminine wiles.
Yeah, that's about the level I'd expect of this group. Why don't you just bang her? You've done it to everything else. We're standing next to a support pillar. Why don't you just start spinning around it?
Oh.
She made me look.
I don't even know why you're complaining. You're literally standing there with them out. Let me shove them in your face, but don't look. I own the light which bounces off my face.
Welcome to my party.
Congratulations, you managed to be more obnoxious than the people who are already in the party.
Yeah, let's go, you two.
Loud is funny.
Let's go.
Oh, this is so American. And I know this is Canadian, but it's so American. Wait, what is that behind you? It just looks like rigged up an electric chair.
Who's your lord and sovereign, right?
Your lord and sovereign. Oh, he's got a throne. Oh, the cringe. Oh, the cringe. The entire point of royalty is you're supposed to be regal.
Hope you got me something nice.
I don't know why. You look like a Saturday night game show host pretending to be a king.
If you didn't, well, I hope you're hot enough to make it up to me.
I mean, talking about Saturday night game show hosts, he's basically Michael Barrymore. If you're neither of them, you end up floating the wrong way around in his swimming pool. So he starts having all his presents delivered to him by a butler.
Oh, great, another one of these.
Get it? It's because he's rich, and that means he doesn't appreciate it. And because he doesn't appreciate his own wealth, that means it's fine to nick it from him. The morality.
It's great.
Even the lawyer's like, oh, I can't believe he's doing it. It's making me shake. Need to remind you, you all went to his party. You knew what he was like, and yet you're obviously getting something out of it.
We're just gonna wait for him to murder the concept of fun before we make a move.
I don't know. I mean, you've been murdering music for the last 5 weeks, but it's never stopped you trying harder the next one. And then this guy begins to, maybe catch on a little bit too late.
I don't like leaving you here alone.
I won't be. Marion's here.
And she's brought 2 pairs of hands.
I think she's onto something about my mom's case.
It's not the only thing she wants to be on top of.
Wait for my signal.
What signal?
You'll know the signal. It'll sound like she is with you, but not faking it. So the son keeps attacking all of his gifts. Who got me cufflinks? Who gives cufflinks anymore? Just leave. Robyn decides to head over and start chatting up Marion. Doesn't look like it'd be too difficult. So in an attempt to cause a distraction so that everyone else can go and steal everything they have no right to and haven't earned, they decide the way to distract everyone will be to have a dance in the middle of the dance floor at a party. You're not unique or special. No one would care. Oh, I've never seen 2 women dancing before. Okay, I didn't see that coming. What are you gonna do next? Record it and stick it on your own private platforms? So obviously Little John's watching. I assume at the moment he's slightly bigger John. This goes on for a long time and apparently distracts everybody. Maybe it's like Star Trek Discovery and now that's just the baseline for everybody. And by this point, I'm surprised he hasn't just got his chair and dragged it out into the middle of the room. Pulled out a pair of binoculars. What we about to risk? Little John's so distracted he can't even be bothered to go Robyn, Robyn, Robyn. And this goes on for multiple minutes, by the way. Bring it back to me. I mean, at least that's YouTube friendly.
Only thing missing from this picture is me.
Could have surprised me because I thought you were about to hit on Little John for a second there. So he's acting as if he's off his face when he only arrived at the party like 5 minutes ago. I I'm amazed this is still going. Look, I'm gonna have to count how long this has lasted. We've now had an ad break and we've come back. Okay, we finally hit another scene. How long was that? We had 2 minutes of them grinding on each other with everybody staring, which, considering she had a go at a guy for just looking at what she was showing to the world, didn't seem to mind for the 2 minutes. So sitting among all his presents is just a safe in the middle of the room, because everyone's got one of those just sitting in the middle of a room, don't you? It's not like a penthouse would have a safe built into a wall. No, we're just gonna have one that you could just pick up and carry out with you. And if you're like, oh no, a safe's really heavy, they couldn't carry it out the room. Well, they carried it in there, didn't they? Wasn't in there last week.
Where are the presents?
We've got a problem.
Yeah, the presents are so expensive, they thought maybe we should lock them up so that thieves don't walk in from another room and start nicking them.
This guy put the presents in the safe?
Yeah, he probably saw you there and thought, hey up, that guy looks dodgy. I'm not really sure thieves should be getting offended that they weren't trusted at a party.
Doesn't he trust his friends?
Oh my god! I was taking them. I didn't know that was coming next. You literally take the piss out of this show, but they say it seriously. Now, the problem is we haven't humiliated this guy for at least 10 seconds, and so he can't even drink correctly. Yeah, he's got to choke himself to death, apparently. I've not mastered how my throat works. I don't know, I keep trying to inhale the alcohol. Next, we're going to see him try and pour it down his nose or something. I just don't understand how glasses work. So he's staggering around the party, literally smashed into the pillar on the way past. To be fair, he acts it well. I'm sure he's had plenty of experience in this regard. And we have much trying to just break into a safe. Like, that's just a skill everybody has, right?
This is taking too long.
I'm a mechanic, not a safe cracker, man.
Yeah, so how can you crack into a safe? Doesn't even have any tools. She's just stuck her ear to it as if that's gonna do anything. But they're in trouble when drunken party boy decides to enter his own room for his presents. Now he hears him, doesn't warn anybody else in the room. Just decides to dodge behind the door himself, leaving the other two just out in the open. So he can take him by surprise. I mean, they could have just hid if he'd told them. Instead, we've got to start choking him out. I mean, it literally, he chokes him out.
If we dip and he wakes up, it's gonna call the beast before we even...
I mean, I would have written the character as if she thought he killed him. What are we gonna do? But instead, she's like, oh, we can't run away, because if we run away, then he's gonna wake up, tell everybody, and we'll never make it out alive.
He won't be out for long. Gotta get him out of here.
What's getting him out of there going to do? Why are you kidnapping him from his own house so that he doesn't find you? If you can get him out of there, you could get yourselves out of there. Just tie him up in a room. Gag him. He's too thick. He's never gonna get through the door.
He hasn't seen our faces yet.
Okay, so he doesn't see their faces. He just sees their rather distinctive hair, which is probably why he had to stand behind the door. I don't have any to hide my face. Don't worry, mate. I know the feeling. I'll be with you in a few years. So them, in their infinite wisdom, decide to march him out in a giant box. And I'm like, why don't you just put the safe in there? Just put the safe in it. Tie him up, gag him in a room, and put the safe in the box.
Standing the throne back. Apparently, it's the wrong color.
The throne's in the other room. It's in full view of the doors, which you've just opened.
All right.
Alright, I don't care, just do whatever you want, mate. I mean, you don't even work here, and you're not even dressed up as if you're staff at the party. You just look like guests. He used to look like staff at a party, but he decided to change his clothes. I still don't know why we're taking him out of the building rather than just gagging him.
We just kidnapped John Prince's son.
Yeah, but the question is why? This makes no sense. Oh, we've been discovered. We better kidnap him. Why? You only have to be not discovered for about 2 minutes. Instead, you're committing federal crimes. And by the way, you were like, oh, he's not seen our faces. No, but all of your faces are on CCTV. Kidnapping his son. Didn't have masks on then, did you? What are you gonna do then? Get your guy to magically hack in and wipe it again? So they have a talk about how any of them knew how to dance. Well, they call it dancing, but it really doesn't take much practice to just stand there and wiggle. I mean, if it was difficult, then it would be a talent that was out of the reach of your average horse.
Ballet school.
Now, I was into show jumping.
Because one thing we always learn in show jumping is how to wiggle your arse on somebody. You're supposed to be riding horses, not the stable boy.
I wanted to go to the Olympics.
I didn't know that was an Olympic sport. Mind you, give it a few years, it probably will be the way things are going. Are we going to have a Guinness World Record as well? How many people can you do in 3 minutes? That's probably one already, actually.
You like them? Go ahead.
That was a random segue. I'm into show jumping. Do you like the hood? I like horses. What about this band? There's meant to be an adult conversation. Where she says, yeah, I love them. They're bold, mysterious, sexy. Like what? They wear plastic masks with LEDs on. Don't you think you're going a bit far?
They're doing right. I don't care who knows it.
They're not doing right. They're literally stealing things and they don't deserve any of it. They're literally the downfall of society.
As long as no one knows their names.
Yeah, because if they did, they'd get shopped into the police and then arrested for the legitimate crimes they've been committing.
Right. because mystery is such a turnoff.
Ah, yes, mystery. Is that why people like whodunit murders? Because they just can't physically resist the criminal. Oh, it's so mysterious. So we start getting really cliche. Oh, you're not what I expected.
I've been through a few things.
Don't worry, love. She's been through plenty more. She's got an entire jar in a kitchen dedicated to it.
Things that nearly broke me.
She goes through enough people, it was bound to happen eventually.
You're doing better than I ever could have.
At this point, it's lucky no one's cracked her pelvis.
Thank you.
It wasn't a compliment, love.
You know, I haven't danced like that in a long time.
Whereas for Robyn, it was about yesterday.
You're natural.
Stand there and have someone wiggle on you. I don't think this requires being a natural. Can we stop pretending like any of this was difficult?
I think I know where Prince's office is. We'll need to be quick.
If she needed it to be quick, she could have gone with Little John and get it over with before the intro sequence finished. But the crew go back to their absolutely not goofy LED masks.
No, this is just standard behavior for all TV shows from this point on, right? I'm being stealthy, you can't see me. So they kidnap him and bring him down to the bottom of their building.
Go check the rest of the building.
Yeah, walk around with glowing masks on your faces, no one will know.
You couldn't find somewhere a little less creepy?
What do you mean you've kidnapped a guy and started to gaffer tape him to a chair? At this point, creepiness is out the window. We're too far gone for this. So he doesn't believe him because he thinks his mates have paid them to kidnap him, until he sees that they're part of the Hood gang, which have an axe to grind with him.
Is this for real? What are you guys gonna do to me?
They're probably just gonna steal your Rolex and then say they earned it.
Although, to be fair, whoever's acting inside those things with the masks on, congratulations, because this is horrific to wear. I could actually play horror games with this lighting. What happens if I turn up the lights behind me? Okay, that's a bit much.
I've got to be honest, this just isn't intimidating.
Help! Somebody help!
We're not gonna hurt you, Chet.
Well, that was pointless. Kidnapping someone and then saying you're not gonna hurt him. As you already committed the crime, you could have at least tried to turn him into a decent human being while it was there. Maybe a bit of fear. So after they said, don't worry, we're not gonna hurt you, he's now like, oh yeah, I'm a big hard man, my dad's gonna get revenge.
Yo, your dad probably has kidnapping insurance.
Oh wow. We are just shooting for the big leagues here. They might genuinely be into human trafficking and nuclear weapons by the end of the series. We're already into kidnapping and extortion. Remember then this guy stole a car, said he earned it, and just wanted a bouncy castle.
Bouncy castle? These youth, bro. What are you gonna do?
Somehow we've gone from I want a bouncy castle to I'm going to extort you for millions of dollars. This is like the origin story of Raymond Reddington. They said, look, we're just doing it as revenge. It's a taste of your own medicine. Remember that guy that you'd smash the guitar off? Yeah, for some reason we've twisted it into that as if they always intended to take revenge for his friend, rather than panicked when they were in to just steal money for no reason whatsoever. Morals!
The man you kidnapped yesterday.
I love always like, what? What do you mean I kidnapped somebody yesterday? You can get away with him not caring enough about the bloke to ever learn his name. He would remember that he just kidnapped a guy yesterday, though. Can we at least make the characters in our TV show human beings? I know you despise him, but let's at least assume he has the minimum brain capacity to be classified as a human being.
So, Chet, what should we talk about?
I don't know, mate, but you don't strike me as the sparkling conversationalist. I mean, do you have any hobbies outside of getting dominated by your friends and constantly affirming them for no reason whatsoever? So then these two decide to break into the same room that was broken into before, but apparently they don't know what's gone on.
Prince's office.
I mean, you can call it Prince's office, but it's definitely the same room that they broke into before. But then they run into a locked door, and apparently the lawyer can picket the lawyer, who specializes in horse riding. Okay?
You bought actual lockpicks?
Yes, it is a bit unlikely, isn't it? I mean, what's her gig? Does she have a side job as the lockpicking lawyer?
Had a client who recommended them.
This client get caught?
I had a client that I represented, and so I just inherit all of the skills of the clients I represent? What? Is it like the Matrix? Someone just signs a retainer over to her and she's like, oh, I can do kung fu! But then Robyn has a different plan. Let's pick the lock. And the Robyn's idea is that the person that she represented got caught, and so therefore they shouldn't pick the lock.
This client get caught?
Well, of course, or else how? Right.
Credit card.
Yeah, credit cards. Those universal door opening devices. I don't know about Richard Branson's son. I feel like the one who's drank so much they can't understand the world. Why do you think a credit card is superior to lockpicks? Don't look smug just because they wrote it into the script. That's the most stupid thing I've ever seen. Even if it works on cheap locks, this is a penthouse. They don't have the best of everything. They're gonna have locks that can resist a credit card wielded by a degenerate. But as they break into Richard Branson's office and start searching the desks with a very convenient camera angle.
No burner phone?
Yeah, why would he need a burner phone? He's not doing anything illegal. You are.
No Polaroids?
Polaroids of what? Look at all my money that I've got from my legitimate businesses. Even if you've got his phone records, what are you going to find? You're going to have Richard Branson phoning the sheriff to report a crime that you did do.
Alan dragged me to this, EDM show once.
I'm sorry for your loss. Either way, she goes into a spiel about how someone grabbed her. Like, oh, I handled it, but it sucked.
Somebody smashed up his car.
Was it you?
Popped his tires.
Alan did that?
No better friend, no worse enemy.
Like, because he's got a thing for you? Is that why we're going with this? Like, he's a completely passive non-personality that does nothing at all times except affirm the people around him. He's not dangerous or a risk. He's got absolutely no masculinity at any point in time until he's allowed to when something happens to the people he's simping after. Turns out, oh, you're jealous of Marion, aren't you? He's like, of course he is. He thought he was with Robyn, and then Robyn was like, I'm getting with the world. Of course he's jealous. Or it's less jealousy, or more, I got with her, and she turned out to be a whore.
How much you spent on that party? $1 million?
You can say million, mate. It's not going to hurt you if you speak properly. You could at least act like a member of civilization. Well, the son's like, nah, I didn't spend $1 million. I'm not that stupid. It was 300,000. I'm like, how? Your entire party fit into one tiny room. It had like 6 serving staff. 2 of them weren't even supposed to be there. So he starts complaining at him. Oh, when you did that video, it wasn't cool.
Did in that video?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the video has.
I think this is supposed to be threatening. I think. I've been more intimidated by my breakfast.
And more.
So we basically just whine at him and nag at him, repeat, you can have everything you want, and instead you decided to do harm to a man and his guitar. I mean, he did give him $1,000, he just threw it up in the air. It was the guy's fault that he didn't bother to pick it up. The guy was so lazy, he does so little work, he couldn't be bothered to pick up $1,000 off the floor.
We're just a joke to you.
To be fair, you're a joke to me too.
Not so funny now, are we?
Actually, I still find you hilarious. You can't sit there in a plastic mask with LEDs on and go, you don't find me funny now, do you? Like, well, actually, I find you the butt of every joke. Eventually, they find his computer and get some nice product placement in for Dell.
What do I do?
I don't know, maybe lob a credit card at it. It seems to work for most things in there, apparently.
I'm not an expert, but I think you need a password.
Now, if only you hadn't kidnapped the son who might have his father's password and taken him off-site, maybe he'd have known it. But Marion says what you should have done is brought that hacker.
He's too cool for this crowd.
Dude, there is absolutely no way that any of you are better than the people in that other room. It's not gonna happen. Know your place in the social hierarchy. He's some random guy who's always off his face.
Think about your groin area. Think about the bones, flesh, the skin, the organs and muscles.
He's not too cool for anything. So Marion gets a little bit insecure. Do your friends like me? It's not my friends you need to worry about. You're not a Sherwooder. You don't need to do this stuff. You're rich.
You're all
Reeking privilege from every pore.
I can't believe we actually said the word privilege. It has the instant kind of, ew, just get over there, you peasant kind of response. Ugh, you believe in privilege. You must be one of those sub-40 IQ people that's just, ugh. Can you stay at least 20 feet away from me, please? I don't want to catch cretin.
Doesn't say it.
Even Robyn wouldn't lower herself to using the word. She's like, I'm as common as they come, and even I'm not that thick. But they decide to randomly insert a USB drive into the computer. You know, the one that they need a password for, but don't have a password for. So there's only really 2 options. Either that USB drive is doing nothing, or it's got built-in hacking tools on it, which are so complicated that whoever owns it definitely should know how to hack a computer. But they start discussing each other's parents. I'm like, oh my, what is this? But don't worry, because Marion's dad passed a few years ago as well, so...
Dad issues.
At some point, we are going to meet someone in this entire show who has a dad. So far, there's not a single character, but I swear, at some point, there must be one, right? Oh, no, there is a dad. I forgot, sorry. The villains. Richard Branson is his dad, obviously. I wonder why they uniquely have father figures compared to everyone else. But it turns out they're still trying to guess the password.
So I'm guessing the password isn't I love Chet.
If you don't have the password, what's the USB supposed to be doing? What were we waiting all this time for the USB to do? We're just gonna stick it in and wait. Oh, I don't know, have you got another thing to stick in a hole? Is that all they know how to do? They just see a USB port, it has to be filled. I'm so used to filling mine, it's just second nature.
Almost music is everything to him.
So this guy's still trying to be intimidating.
It's his soul. He's got nothing without that guitar.
Has he ever considered getting a job? Maybe if his life is that big of a void, if it's that empty of any meaning or reason to do anything, maybe he could start doing something and contribute to society. Just an idea.
Without it, he's... Listen to me, man!
No.
You're gonna make me beg, aren't you?
Without his guitar, he's just another useless waste of space like the rest of us. Oh.
He's just invisible.
I wish he was mute as well, because then I wouldn't need to hear about him.
I mean, can't he just, like, buy a new one?
Firstly, yes, because you did throw him $1,000 on the floor. All he had to do was pick it up. But secondly, that's literally the attitude that the Sherwooders have. We can steal from these people because, don't worry, they can just buy a new one. Their property means nothing. But now they've got him to say it, don't realize the irony, and I bet they call him a bad guy for it.
What you say?
I mean, it seems like a little bit of an overreaction, mate. You've also got a problem in that now you've broke his chair, so he's free. Like, you'll be lucky if he doesn't put your head through a wall. Oh, you've tied his hands. Okay. You're such a man, you can't take someone in a fair fight. I got you. So he runs off. He's like, no. Oh, he's pathetic. Somehow, the little weedy bloke manages to break through the lock. Like, no way. I mean, that guy's built like he lives on a diet of broccoli and lettuce leaves. There's no way he'd be opening a door normally, let alone through a lock. Barely has enough energy to lift his arm to the handle. These two are just walking around with torches. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. I don't know why they're there. So the kid starts phoning to try and get out. Except he phones somebody who, and this is the second time this episode, someone has their phone sticking half out of their pocket, which is only done so you can see the caller ID. And to be honest, it looks like a CGI phone that they've added in. Okay, so stupidly, it turned out he decided to phone his mates. Phone the sheriff. Help, I've been kidnapped. Trace this call. What are they gonna do? If you needed help at an all-you-can-eat buffet, they're probably your guys. But apart from that...
All peasants, bow down to your new king.
I mean, it's nice to have goals. And he finds out over the phone that they're only hanging around with him for his money, which is, well, yeah. You'd assume he would have known that. He's just really insecure and actually he's had his dreams crushed. But then he gets caught by the guy who just charged him hard enough to break a chair.
Hey, no, chill, bro, chill. I'm sorry you overreacted.
You're sorry you overreacted? You pissing kidnapped him and took him to an abandoned creepy building. Why are these people so horrifically awful that they have no idea they're the villains? You'd literally engaged in human trafficking. He would have been well within his rights to smash your face into a wall. But it turned out it didn't even get into the laptop at all. Oh, I've been fooled by a password. Yeah, that's the point of passwords.
I don't know about that. I mean, I had fun.
Are you telling me you just committed serious illegal activity for no reason? Well, I don't know. I mean, you did wiggle on me for a bit. But they hear people entering the room and just start going at it. Because for some reason, that's meant to make him feel bad about it. It's like, no, get out of his pissing office. It was locked. How did you get into his locked room? So they give him the finger in the hope that he's just going to leave. Like, no. You're the ones in the wrong here. Called the sheriff, they're trespassing, and broke into his office. Instead, he just closes the door.
We should go.
You should be in handcuffs. Not for the reasons they want. So she's cheated on Little John. For some reason, the USB stick turns green.
What was that?
Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, turns out maybe I can't hack after all, and I knew what this USB stick was doing. And I'm lying to you.
You good?
Yeah, she's good. She's so good, she actually blindsided you. So you had no idea what was happening, because you were too busy thinking with your USB port. It's only 2.0 speed. Apparently it's not fast enough to keep up. They're still chasing him. I don't know why. The only reason you kidnapped him in the first place is to give you enough time to get out of the building. That was it. You don't need to keep holding him, you criminal scum. Oh, so apparently he fell down the stairs. Congratulations. Take him to hospital. Or call an ambulance, either one. So we have an entire long scene about him going, oh, I'm awful, and oh, no way, you can't help me. Oh, stop apologizing, push him down the stairs.
Hello, my friends. They just want to hang out with me for the private jet.
That makes sense. I mean, even I could put up with him for a couple of hours for a private jet. So he has a crisis. Oh, everyone hates me. Before the Hood gang goes, okay, I know he can make it up to everybody. Storms in, back into his own party, where apparently it's daylight. That's how long they've kidnapped him. He says, I got a present for you because friends are priceless and you're my friends. Who wants to be in the Hood's new video? They just come up, start singing. Is that pretend like you're being robbed? And we be robbing. I didn't think it could get worse, but here we are, folks. You think if you kept digging, you'd eventually hit the liquid core of the earth, but we're not quite there yet. We're probably going to end up in hell before we hit that. I gotta be honest, we're pretty close at the moment. So everyone's dancing as they're giving all their expensive jewelry to them. At this point, I might as well go down the stairs. It'd be more entertaining. So once again, this goes on forever. Like, it's a full song. I think they've genuinely done a new song for every episode, which admittedly is more work than most TV series will ever have gone to. He films them eventually leaving with everybody's items, none of which think they've just taken my stuff.
That was so sick, bro.
Yeah, it was sick, mate. Sick, bruv. In it, like. So then it just sends them all out. The party's over, go. And so now the Hood gang is essentially pissed off a load of other very rich people who can now all get in contact with the sheriff and work together to take them down. I don't think you thought this one through. We get a shot, which is, interesting.
A bag of clothes showed up this morning in the donation bin. Care of the Hood.
What, you mean all that stolen jewelry that definitely will have been reported to the police with diamonds in it and are probably one of a kind? You mean those things? Yeah. I'm sure you'll find a charity to take those. Where are you going to fence that lot?
I know Elmo's your friend, but are you okay?
Well, surely he's bought him a guitar, right? The amount you just stole, you could definitely afford him a guitar. Why are you upset? Have you not bought him a guitar?
When I was a kid, there wasn't really much I could rely on.
It's going to be a sob story about, when I was a kid, something happened to me, and now I can grow up into an adult and just commit crime and it's fine, because somebody wouldn't give me everything I wanted as a child. Oh, I don't care what your childhood was like. You're an adult now, you're responsible for your own actions, and you're scum. And everything you do brings down everyone else around you.
People that really matter, but the music I could hold on to.
The only music you should be allowed to make is the sound of your cup hitting the bars of your jail cell.
I just couldn't stand the thought of Elmer losing that.
Buy him a pissing guitar. But then Elmo comes in with a brand new guitar and some clothes that make him look like a Saturday night game show host again. I mean, if you've already bought him a new guitar, why were you so upset before? Oh, it's music. You've already fixed it.
Yo, Elmo with the drip, my man.
Yeah, he really shouldn't be wearing it. He should be selling that, and so he can actually get some money. Then he can put it to productive use, rather than walking around like a pensioner's pair of curtains.
New guitar?
Like I've been giving my arm back.
You should probably got a cheaper guitar, and then got off the street and got a job.
Hey, what's up?
I've been thinking about yesterday.
Okay, love, you can keep that in the privacy of your own house.
Maybe this is out of line, but I had fun. We're like a good team.
Sure.
And Robyn's like, yeah, but that was yesterday. I only do one person a day. I'm onto someone else now. There's no other way I can rack up 365 a year. I mean, you've got to seize it while the iron's hot.
Mission accomplished. Right?
So she eventually ditches her. You were a great actor. We needed help, and now that's over. Bye.
I should down.
Yeah, you should, yeah. I mean, most people in the tower already know her reputation, but at least you're not from here, so, you know, you've got an excuse. As little John comes back, he's like, oh, it's amazing. Now you can be with me. Are you gonna let her do this all the time? Just wander off for a night and come back? So is that the arrangement?
But I'm not sure that we can trust her.
You can't trust her? You kidnapped a bloke yesterday. You don't really have the moral high ground. What the pissing hell was that episode? And at this point, the only purpose I can see from this show is to prove to people that not everyone shares your morals, not everybody thinks like you, and there are people from an alternate moral paradigm which is directly opposite yours. In other words, these people are evil, and that's why they have no comprehension that what they're doing is wrong. And because it's the evil people going, but the sheriff's evil, it makes you root for the sheriff in the desperate hope that one day the sheriff will make the evil people face justice. Because it's the only way they're going to happen, as they're never going to stop because they think they're the good guys. As long as they think they're good guys, they're going to continue to drag everybody else down, ruin their entire area, and make everybody else's life a living hell. So hey, maybe that's the purpose of Robyn Hood, to open somebody's eyes that you definitely don't want anyone else like this in your life, because they will ruin it. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.